New South Wales Libertarian John Ruddick has been going hard on the Rural Fire Service issue in the Parliament, and he's on the line with me right now. John, thanks for your time.
Good morning, Chris, and thank you for your interest in this subject.
Are you surprised by the sheer volume of whistleblowers coming forward to you and to this program?
Well, I was about to say that the 2SM office sounds very similar to the John Ruddick parliamentary office, yes. Something just came in from the Murray area. But look, this whole thing, Chris, the reason why we need to keep the pressure up and get some answers, and we need to get to the bottom of this, is that there was a $400 million tender for a very important part of protecting New South Wales. The tender was only open for 6 weeks. Okay, now if you're going to put into the government a $400 million tender, that's a lot of effort.
It'd take 6 weeks to get a draft set up.
Absolutely. Look, you've got to get accountants in, you've got to get engineers in, you've got to put together a very impressive package. Okay, it's not like you're trying to bid for a $4 million house. You're bidding for a $400 million government contract.
Yeah,
and we want to get it right. And now, not only was it just a 6-week period, that 6 weeks, Chris, was the 12th of January to the 23rd of January last year. Now, I don't know about you, but on the 12th of January, most people are in a slumber.
Yeah.
Okay. And good, that's what we have a rest. We have a rest. The January rest is a good thing. So this Canadian company gets it. Now, this Canadian company, Coulson's, their website says they're the very best in the world at firefighting. Okay. Now, maybe that's true. I don't know, but I want to get to the bottom of it. One question mark that I have is, we do see every few years on our nightly news a pretty big fire in Canada. Okay, now they're not as big as Australian bushfires, but they've got lots of forests and they can get hot in the middle of summer.
True.
But I'm thinking, fighting a Canadian fire, remember Canada's sort of near the Arctic, it's a very different geography than it is to Australia. I'm thinking, look, surely the Australians know how to fight an Australian fight bushfire better. Anyway, this is what we're doing, Chris. On the 18th of April, about 3 weeks from now, we're going to have budget estimates with the Minister for Emergency Services, Jihad Dib. So he'll be sitting there for about 5 hours, and I'll be participating that day, and I'll be asking him some of these questions. Now, if we are still not satisfied, if myself and the 2SM audience are still not satisfied, and the wider New South Wales and all the RFS people, I think what the next step we can do then is propose that we have a parliamentary inquiry into this whole matter. And we just need more than 50% of the upper house to agree to that, and that'll be my job to try and get that to happen. But let's see. Look, we won't necessarily go down that because maybe we'll get good answers.
John, I have a feeling that the philosophy within the RFS is all wrong, because the Royal Commission, as one of those whistleblowers wrote to us overnight and said, wanted the RFS to basically use local aircraft sectors to help fight fires. But they've done completely the opposite and have built an empire.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot of unanswered questions here, and it was the previous Liberal government that sort of first got these Canadians out here. But look, I want to hear from the Canadians, Coulson's. I want them to come along and tell us, no, this is all above board, and this is a fantastic contract, and we are the best at it. Okay, now. I'll tell you what I think the ideal is to fix this problem long term, Chris.
Yeah.
I believe, as we all know, since before the dream time, bushfires in Australia are a big deal. Okay, there's several plants out there that can only release their seeds in the middle of a bushfire. That's how natural they are. But we've got a lot of humans and human property out there. I believe the best way to deal with it is to devolve responsibility for fighting bushfires to the local councils. So what we could reduce the taxes that we pay to the New South Wales government. Maybe where there's bushfire areas, people have to pay a little bit more. The local government can cut funding. But look, if it's run locally, the local mayor, the local people know about bushfires in their area, and they can coordinate with other nearby councils. They might go and buy their helicopters together or find the best local contractors there. That's probably the best option. But I think we want to devolve it down to, look, a fire in the south of New South Wales is very different to a fire in far western New South Wales. It's very different ecology. I'm thinking the local governments know how to do this best. Now, that's not going to happen overnight, about devolving it down to the local government.
No.
And let's see how we go with this inquiry.
Yeah, and most concerning about the informants that we're receiving is the fact that they're all asking for anonymity. And I haven't come across an investigation I've done over, the years and years that I've spent in this game, where so many people are too frightened to come on and say, my name's Joe Bloggs and this is what I've experienced. It just shows you how frightened they are of the way the RFS deal with them.
I agree. It has been a real eye-opener, and it is a bit disturbing that there does seem to be a bit of a dysfunctional culture. And yes, people are coming to me and they're saying, John, whatever you do, don't mention my name. But this has been my experience, and the experiences are all very, very similar. They're saying, look, there is a bad culture here, and look, we've got to get this right, Chris.
Yeah.
Everyone remembers the bushfires 5 years ago. Guess what, everyone? It's going to happen again.
Yeah.
Okay, it's going to happen for as long as Australia's here. It's going to happen. So we need to have the world's best firefighting operation in place, and I think hopefully we can get it sorted out in the coming months.
Okay, April the 18th is when you'll have the Minister in front of you for questioning.
And people can watch it live. After they've stopped listening to the Christmas show, they can tune in and watch it live.
That's a very intelligent way to spend your day. Fantastic, John. Great to have you on the line.